Welcome everybody to Daytona. Turn down for what tonight? It will be live 80 laps. Myself and Repeat in the booth. Repeat, you got a copy?
I got you, Swats. How are you, buddy?
I'm doing fantastic. Loving what I'm seeing during the practice and stuff, and I can't wait to kick off the season with you in the booth with me as always. Just a pleasure to have you in the booth. Last night we worked together too, and it was an awesome race to see. And we worked last week's race with ARCS for their Daytona Trucks race, and I'm hoping tonight that these guys here at Turn Down for What, they put on a show. They usually always do. Very minimum in cautions. Great driving, great skills on track. So very happy to see these guys back on track with another season 2.
Yeah, second season up. A lot of great drivers have decided to return and even picked up a bunch of new guys. So, yeah, Daytona might as well start the season off with a crapshoot. But again, a lot of really good drivers have returned. Picked up a few great drivers to fill some spots that were vacated. But Swats, yeah, start of the season, Daytona, you gotta love it.
Absolutely, but I'm like I said, I'm so excited to have season 2 back for Turn Down for What for Trucks. Me and you in the booth, can't go wrong there. I love being in the booth with you. It's just like I said before, it's a pleasure to always have you in the booth with me, and it's always a fun time. We we kind of bounce off of each other. We balance each other a lot with different things we're saying, and I'm hoping the people out there watching tonight really enjoy what they hear and really enjoy what they see on track with these drivers. Some really amazing drivers on track. I mean, there's returning drivers, like you said, new guys. Hunter Peach going for the repeat 2 seasons in a row. Not to throw the pun on there, repeat, but trying to throw that out there for Hunter. Christopher Murphy coming out from last season, winning the inaugural race in season 1. Back in the lobby tonight for the roster for season 2. Can he go 2 seasons in a row, opening race, winning both at Daytona? We will see tonight.
I tell you what, old Mike Allen sent a beautiful, an amazing picture along earlier of the some of the prizes that will be given away. Not quite sure if that was all for tonight or throughout the season, but Mike Allen, the man, has thrown up a ton of 124 and 164 die casts for this truck series. So if he's able to repeat tonight, or able to repeat the championship, one way or another, somebody's walking away with some great gifts. Again, big thank you to Mike Allen.
Yeah, that's only for tonight. That is a grab bag prize giveaway that he is doing for the driver who wins tonight at Daytona. They get the choice of the 6 124 Mark Martin set or the 6 124, whatever he called that, the Crazy Lightning set that's out there that has a bunch of different drivers in it. And then you get the, I believe it's an actual driver's suit piece from Bobby Labonte and a couple other things. So these drivers definitely getting a big time prize with all those things that are in there. And he said whichever one they don't choose will be up for grabs for a later race. And he has a bunch of other things that he's trying to give it away this season too. He's clearing out his closet. He's bought a whole bunch of new diecast and all kinds of things like that from Circle B diecast, Plan B diecast, all those different diecast places that he's running out to. They're collecting his money easily. Every time a new car comes out, he goes out and buys it. So he's I think he's clearing out his closet and getting rid of a lot of old stuff. So he's kind of giving it away to these drivers here at Turn Down for What. So if you are looking for a league, we have a few open spots left. So you can definitely hit us up on Facebook, Turn Down for What. You can hit us up on my messenger for my Twitch account. You can hit me there, and I will get you in touch with the people in charge of the rostering. We're also looking for sponsorship. So if you are looking for a day race or day of racing, you want to sponsor just that specific race, we'll run your logos, we'll run a whole little thing about yourself, your team, your company, whatever it is. If you want to run a sponsorship for a series, whether it's the Truck Series or the Thunder Series or the Xfinity Series with Rick James over there on Tuesday nights, you can do that. If you want to sponsor the entire season or entire league, all three sponsors, your main sponsorship will be run on all three series. That is what we've come up with here for the sponsorship for this series. We do have Green's Serum over on the Thunder series as a main sponsor over there, giving away prizes. So looking for more and more sponsors, whatever we can do to improve this league and get it bigger and better. 30, I think we have 34 on track tonight, Pete.
Yeah, 34 trucks going to be on track. And man, I've been watching a lot of the practice races, and the packs that these guys are trying to get together. It's like no holds barred, Kurt. They are having a ton of fun, and I've got at least one horse in the show. Decided to go ahead and start up old Patriot Esports. Young Byron Jones is my driver, but man, we've got so many different teams out here tonight. You got
Hey, I got my own team
CC.
of four drivers.
Yep.
I got some heavy
Yep.
hitters in my four pack.
You got CCR, you got Checkmate Motorsports, you got MTC Esports, you got Aon Motorsports, which is a brand new team made up of some very familiar drivers. You got SFR, you got BRT. I mean, there are so many different teams. But man, everybody wants to get the W here at Daytona. Not only is it Daytona, but it sets your season off on a very positive tone. Definitely, I'll be happy, for the eventual winner tonight. But I'm gonna call it now. Byron Jones in that A10 Warthog machine. He's calling that W for tonight. What
I
do
don't
you
know.
got,
I don't know, Pete. I got four heavy hitters on my team that's racing for KS Gaming 51 Broadcasting there with the KS Gaming Racing team. I've got my brother Shad in there in the one truck, finishing the top 10 after missing, I think, 5 races last season. So big driver there for me. New driver in the zero truck, Pacey Widget, will be in there. He's already won over in the Thunder Series a couple times. Very, very well-known driver as God Power over on the console side. So definitely look for him. And then I got this race winner from last season, Chris Murphy. He'll be in my lineup. And I also went out and wrangled me a Mike Honcho, who also finished in the top 10 in points. So 3 of my drivers finished in the top 10 in points last season, hoping to break up some of those different groups that are all part of that old J-Pod militia that's now Cold Dog Racing, Checkmate Motorsports, CDR. There's so many teams from that organization or group. They've all kind of split off. So there's a lot of different teams out here trying to compete with those strong teams. Your team included, Pete. And then you have Mike Allen's team. There's so many different teams out here. It's going to be hard to keep up with everybody's teams this year, but I'm really liking we're turned down for what's headed with these teams. I think we're headed in a direction where we can do team points and do a team championship that way at the end of the season. And do some sort of point total to give away a prize for that. There's so many different things that we're trying to do and turn down for what to try to make it bigger and better. I brought up the SDK slot there where you can see the track itself. You can see it is an oval. It's 2.48 miles. 98 degrees is the temperature. I wrote in there last season, Chris Murphy in that number 21 truck. He's got a new sponsor on his truck this season. No more, blue, white, and orange. You'll see it's a green and camo for this year. So he won this race from the pole position last season. So he definitely knows about being out front. Definitely knows how to finish out front. And we'll see if he can do that repeat move by finishing first in the opening race for season 2 and turn down for what he led also, Pete, 23 laps in that race last season.
Well, talking about season 2, it is kicked off. Qualifying has now started, Chad, and starting to see a few guys already go out. Man, good luck to every single one of these drivers. It's going to be a phenomenal season all the way around. And Kurt, buddy, thank you for having me in the booth with you. Here we go, buddy.
Absolutely. I'm gonna jump us into the national anthem real quick. Give a big salute to the red, white, and blue. Big things going on in the world right now that we need to all, really, love and pray and put everything out we can for our own soldiers and stuff that may be going over there or that are currently over there. And then obviously huge prayers to everybody out in Ukraine that's battling all of this, really bad stuff that's going on from Russia. Don't, condone it or anything like that. Definitely don't want to be somebody in that situation. So prayers out there for everybody that's involved, and always prayers for our red, white, and blue soldiers and EMTs, first responders, all those type of people that run towards danger. So really appreciate it. And here is the national anthem. All right, Pete, we are back. Ooh,
Old glories never look so good, Kurt.
Absolutely, but I really appreciate everybody, sending out the prayers for the red, white, and blue soldiers and everybody that's out there defending us. Definitely, definitely love hearing that song, and if you're an American, that song should bring a lot of joy to you.
Absolutely. It's amazing with everything that's going on over in Ukraine and all the people, all the nations, all the different politicians putting things aside for the common good. Glad to see Ukraine getting all the help that they can get to be able to pull through the dictator-run forces or militia from Russia. So definitely pulling for Ukraine, as a lot of other people are. It's definitely a trying time.
Yeah, definitely brings you, I guess, to ground zero to really think about what's going on in the world today over here in the U.S. Compared to what some people over there are having to deal with. So, but if we can bring you some joy for the next hour and a half, 2 hours, if you are watching this, we'll definitely try to bring as much joy as we can and much happiness. Pete in the booth always brings as many laughs and cheers as you can. So, definitely want to be able to do that and do everything we can. I'm seeing some people saying out there that they can barely hear you, Pete. So I'm gonna crank you up a little bit. I normally turn you down because you blow my eardrums off, but they're saying they can't hear you, so let me raise you up.
I see old Mr. NNR out there in chat. I actually heard that he might be coming to turn down for what sometime soon.
He's actually
I see
here tonight.
NNR bowling out there with 100 bits. But just watched Jeff Lednam, excuse me, old Mike Honcho, complete his lap. Saw Terry Radford before him. I saw the 44. Go ahead and get his time
Byron
down.
Jones takes the pole.
Yeah, buddy.
Whoa.
He actually just earned some cash with that run. So great job by Byron Jones. Way to hold a steady wheel, young buck.
Byron Jones to the pole. We got newcomer Gary Huffins in that 51. He talked to me about the 51. I no longer race in the trucks or Xfinity, so gave up that 51 and told him to make sure he pulls into the victory lane because I was never able to. So I told him he needed to go make it a little bit better of a number and let somebody go to victory lane. My own Mike Honcho, or no, that's Marty. I didn't even realize Marty was in here. Marty Hensley in the 39 running the Daytona race tonight for turn down for what? In third. Hunter Peach, returning champion in that 26 truck, will be fourth. Pete, the 22 of J-Pod. Joshua Arnold is starting out the season with fifth position in this qualifying. And then we have the 14. I don't know why that name's all jacked up on there, but I believe that would be Lehman.
Nate
so that
Lehman,
is Nate
yep.
Lehman. For some reason, it's got some other letters on top of it on my screen. But yeah, Nate Lehman starting 6th. Steven Brynock starting 7th. Bill Hill's returning to turn down for what in the trucks in the 53, and he'll be starting 8th. Mike Allen in that 88 machine will be starting 9th. Newcomer Dale Rapp will be starting 10th. That means that Mike Allen's team actually has 1, 2, 3, 4 team members in the top 10, Pete.
Yeah, and behind Rap, you got the 46, I believe. That's going to be Jonah Bybee with Cole Snyder right behind him. And then Mr. Troop, followed by your brother, Shad Swatsworth, Kyle Taub, Mike Campbell, old Papa Bear. He's going to go ahead and start just a little bit further back as well. As I see you've just pulled up the entire lineup. Man, what a great start.
Absolutely, bud. I'm looking forward to this. We got so many different drivers going through there. A lot of my drivers are in the top 15, top 20. So I think they're gonna have to. Maybe they are just holding back a little bit. I know some of them were talking about qualifying, some of them were not qualifying. So there's a lot of different strategies going on here, Pete. That we'll definitely be picking up on whether or not these guys are planning on going forward or if they're gonna stay in the back.
I'll tell you what, I'm definitely very, very proud of that number 44. Byron Jones grabbing the first ever pole for season number 2. He's got the 51 to his outside. 39 of, as you said, old Marty Hensley, Rock NASCAR, right behind him. So he's going to have a great pusher to get up and get going, but nothing like seeing a United States Air Force A10 Warthog, Patriot Esports, Chevy Silverado to pace this field around for the start of this one.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun tonight. I really love that paint scheme. I loved it on your 8 truck when you had it. You passed it over to Byron. Looks pretty good with that 44 on the side of it. Hopefully he can bring it home for you tonight. But I'm definitely, like I said, I've got 4 guys out there that I'll be looking forward to seeing coming through the field at some point. And there's so many other drivers in here. Marty Hensley in that 39. He's always dangerous on a super speedway. If he joins a race with a super speedway, you better pay attention to where Marty is, and you might want to follow him because for some reason he always finishes in the top 5.
Yeah, Marty's going to be a huge threat tonight.
Yeah, Pete, we are coming off of turn 4. That big old pace truck and that what I would say is a Chevy, Pete, will be coming down pit road, and we will be going green here for season 2 of Turn Down for What? We are green, Pete.
Absolutely. 30-plus drivers here to kick off season 2 at Daytona. 44 and 39 look like they got a pretty decent little launch. The 51 kind of stuttered a little bit. 26 not quite sealed to his back bumper. That's going to allow the 22 of that old double deuce. And yes, J-Pa is back for season 2 with his whole Cold Dog Racing team right behind. But he's going to jump to the outside, hoping I'll have a little bit more help out there. Bottom line's completely sealed.
Yeah, Pete, they're flying around this track right now. Getting up to speed, getting up to turn 3 and 4, trying to figure out who's going to run the bottom, who's going to run the top. Top's kind of bailed on J-Pa right now. He's got some building up behind him that are trying to catch him, trying to get that draft. But Byron Jones, Marty Hensley, and Hunter Peach lining that yellow line going down through turn 3 and 4, coming through the tri-oval. You know they're going to try to stick to that bottom and try to carry the speed. But that outside line, Pete, that's where the momentum will be brought to. That whole line will have to stick together and get nose to tail and just put it to the floor and try to carry as much as they can off the corners to get around this bottom line.
Bowling out there in chat, he can go ahead and just bite his tongue right now. He's saying Byron will wreck out again. Don't worry. Poor kid doesn't have any luck. He is not kidding. Byron has been wrecked out of about the last 6 or 7 races flat. But look at this side-by-side battle for the lead. Kurt, right now, it looks like they just took the green. They're all back double file.
Yeah, I think J-Pa was waiting for Nate Lehman and that 24 of Cole Snyder to catch up to him, to get him a big push. Once they got to him, they definitely shot him right back up alongside. I believe he was actually hovering right around the 26 of Hunter Peach before they got to his back bumper, and now they have shot him right back up, and we are side-by-side on lap 3, Pete.
Yeah, side-by-side all the way back. Looks like about the first, 10 to 15 rows maybe, and then just a little bit of straggling little bit further in the back. But, yeah, I mean, I thought I saw an issue a little bit further back, maybe saw some smoke. Not so much. These guys keeping it clean and green.
Yeah, I'm trying to look to see. It looks like a few guys have dropped off pace a little bit to kind of stay out of danger. 80 lap race. 3 laps into this race, you do not want to get a lot of damage right away. You do have that one fast repair. I'm hoping turned on for what maybe goes next season. 0 fast repairs, as we'll be in our 4th season Xfinity and 3rd season in trucks, to where we can just lock down no more fast repairs, and guys will really take care of each other and take care of their trucks or different vehicles. But I'd love to see no fast repairs in this thing. But that's what some guys are doing. They're pulling that old Joe Gibbs strategy from Daytona, where they'll just lay back, sit back, and wait. And they know if they can get a few different drivers together, they can hang together and not lose time from that lead pack. They might not necessarily gain on the lead pack very much, but they won't lose. And that's probably the priority. If you hang off about 2 seconds and you can still see that pack, you won't lose from it if you have enough trucks.
Right, the 44-39, he's got 39 all over his back bumper, absolutely filling his mirror. Every now and then, though, you see the 14 of Nate Lehman completely blink out. You got to wonder if that's causing the 24 to kind of just back off a little bit. He does not want the 14 to disappear and then reappear inside the front end of that 24. So that might be why J-Pa, he's able to hold on to it because he's got the momentum from that high side. But, man, if that 24 was able to seal up the back bumper of the 14, they would be completely door-to-door all the way around this 2.5-mile tri-oval super speedway.
Yeah, Pete, we got Duct Tape Fan 06, one of Duct Tape's family members out there asking for they're looking for the number 19. He is currently back here in 29th, hanging back, not really trying to move to the front, and just trying to stay out of the way. But he is running a very beautiful truck that he designed himself for Millsap Graphic in the red, white, and blue in that 19. I'm sure they're loving that picture. You would think that picture might be a mistake, that that was a picture from like 10 years ago. But Jake Millsap is a young man. Oh, big yellow,
looks like,
big crash.
Yep, looks like something happened with the 50 up on the high side. Not quite sure if he got or how he got turned. But, yeah, he was just about to send it over. And he was able to get it corrected, but a few absolutely got collected in that. Now everybody will come on back to the line, catch up to the pace car. Not much has really changed in the the first few rows.
Trying to figure out who it is. I see a red truck down there get really loose on the bottom.
Let me go back.
I think it's ooh, there it is.
It had to do something with Jarrett Manning for sure.
Yeah, as we see it, Pete, it comes up. It looks like so the 45 kind of turned the 50, and that kind of started a big chain reaction back there of guys trying to get off the gas, get low, and it just kind of spiraled from there. Another truck spinning out. So 45 and 50 are definitely going to have some damage. You're going to have to come down pit road and get some of that damage fixed. We saw a lot of smoke from those guys, so I think some guys are definitely going to be using those fast repairs. You might have a couple guys out there who won't use them. And they'll just go straight to trying to just repair as much as they can.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see. Now this is only what was that, lap 7, give or take. It'll be interesting to see if anybody comes on down, tops off. I don't imagine anybody will be doing anything with tires. As you see, SS Motorsports Shad Swatsworth out there in chat saying he's hanging in the back until it's time.
Yeah, that's something we were talking about as a team, talking about if they were going to stay back or if they were going to try to run up front. Some of the guys were saying they'd rather be up front. Some were saying they didn't really care. They just didn't want to be in the middle because that's where the hornet's nest is. If something happens in the front, you're kind of stuck. And if you're in the middle, you always got to worry about the guy behind you running you over. So either you got to be first or you want to be last. So...
And it looks like the 44, he's going to be able to fire off pit road first. 22 of J-Pod, Josh Arnold, he's going to be able to hold serve. And then you see that 45 of Jonah Bybee. He looks like he's got some pretty serious front-end damage. But if he could stay in the draft, that will absolutely be minimal. because all that air completely skips over the hood. That's actually really, really nice paint scheme for Jonah. I was watching him get that going earlier, and then I see Cole Snyder, Marty Hensley, and others all working their way around on the apron. Going to go ahead and try to get lined back up and set this thing back green one more time.
Yeah, they're going to try to get lined up here, and I think some guys you would think would, see that caution right away here within the first 8-10 laps, that they would maybe chill out and just run side by side, or maybe get single filed and knock off some of these laps before they start getting really racy. But you know that competitive nature in a lot of guys, they just want to go, 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 and there's not a whole lot of give, and there's a lot of take.
Oh yeah, these super speedway races, it's a lot of take for now. I would imagine. Well, I should say that the other way. It should be a lot of give for now, and then take later. Just like Shat Swatsworth out there in chat saying he's not worried about positions right now. He's going to be up there when the time goes, and he's got a couple of people that will be out there to work with him. As you said, your brother racing with KS Gaming 51, and I think there's a couple other people working with him as well, such as our current I'm sorry, actually the 44 came on down pit road. It looks like one truck decided to go ahead and stay out, but he's also got some help from Marty Hensley and a couple of others to push and pull that number one all the way around this place.
Yeah, I think there's a few different teams that might have been working together. You know the whole 4 group of 16 drivers out there that were part of that J-Paw militia, or still are part of that J-Paw militia, are probably all trying to work with each other. They know each other, so they're all pretty good friends, and I'm sure they're gonna race each other a little differently, and they're gonna try to help each other. But the rest of these guys have all got to try to work together, because when you get that many guys lined up and are willing to work with each other and things like that, it's really hard to move through the field if you don't have any help. You need that drafting partner or drafting partners to get through some of this traffic that they've got to get through.
Yeah, it's going to be it'll be interesting for sure. Newcomer two turned down for what? Dale Rapp. He's actually the lone guy that went ahead and stayed out in that number 52 Silverado. He's got Josh Arnold behind him, and then the 24 of Cole Snyder. That's going to be the bottom line. The 44, he's got the 14 of Nate Lehman and Hunter Peach, just a couple spots back. So as long as they can push cleanly, hopefully we can stay green for a while and maybe get to that first full, green lap pit stop. Here we go.
Back to green with the 52 of Dale Rapp leading him down the front stretch all the way to turn 1. He's got a good push from the 22. 22 is going to take it low and try to go 3 wide into turn 1. Pete, is this too early for this, or is he just saying, the 52, you're not getting through the gears fast enough, I got to go?
Oh, I just really hope that they can make this work and get through cleanly. 52 really doesn't have any support, but it looks like Nate Lehman, he's going to go ahead and duck down behind that 52, leaving the 44 out to dry all by himself on that high line. Now, the high line has a lot of momentum, but the draft will absolutely kill him. It looks like there is a spot behind the 14. He'll be able to duck on in. Brand new leader, Season 2, Double Deuce, Josh Arnold.
Yeah, I don't know if they want to let Josh get out here and run a bunch of laps and lead. He's kind of hard to get around once he gets to the lead. He's very, very good at super speedways. We talked about this last season. They had a whole rule designed for him in NNR and NNOR whenever he had his league going. He had a whole different way of driving this track to where you couldn't push the leader, you couldn't push from the bottom, you could push from the top. You couldn't. There was all kinds of different rules in there, and it definitely was a awesome package to run sometimes. But J-Paw is very, very good at super speedways. We've seen him win a fuel mileage race at Talladega. He has not won a super speedway in a little while, so I'm sure he's got an itch to get up here and get his first win of the season and be that first winner of Season 2.
Yeah, the 22, like you said, he's very, very strong at these plate tracks, whether it's here, Talladega, iRacing, Super Speedway. No matter which one, he always seems to find his way to the front when it really matters. So he's up there early, and as you said, that could cause some issues for people just a little bit later on. Looks like the 14, he's going to go ahead and shoot the gap in the middle. 44 is going to go ahead and try to fill that hole. 52 finds just enough room to go ahead and fill that gap. 44, he's going to go ahead and dive all the way down low in front of the 26 of Hunter Peach. So more and more people trying to get to the bottom, and it looks like somebody got knocked out of line all the way down below the apron. He will have to wait for an opening. That's going to kill his all that momentum he had, as looks like we're going to stay green.
Yeah, we stayed green. The Hooters truck was able to back into the back end of this first pack, so he did not lose anything. There is a second pack back there of about 5 drivers, so if he does fall off this lead pack, he can at least fall into that group and be able to stay with everybody. That second pack is 5 drivers, and they are hovering, just waiting for different accidents to happen so that they can hit the brakes and be able to slow down before they run into somebody and have another incident or anything like that. Wait for a couple of these guys that maybe knock themselves out with using their fast repair, and then having to take it a little easier to finish this race, Pete.
It looks like Hunter Peach may not have liked what he was seeing. The 22, he's got the 39 of Marty Hensley filling up that rear view. Now the 55 of looks like, I think that was Dale Rapp. He's going to be able to slide into the 4th position on the bottom side. Meanwhile, that I believe it was the 29. He slid all the way to the back. I don't think he liked what was going on around him. Maybe a little too aggressive at this point.
Yeah, Dale Rapp driving that 52. He's trying to stay up here, but he's the one that stayed out. He did not come in and get tires, did not come in and get fuel. The rest of these guys all came down, and majority of them did not take tires. I'm not seeing any, really, that took tires unless they stayed in and took rights only. Now I'm seeing the 16 of Kyle Taub bail out of that bottom line as well, so he doesn't seem to be liking what he's seeing up here at the front, and maybe it's a little too early to be running up here with guys switching lanes and running these speeds. We are 2x2, Pete, as we go around for the 14th lap, headed to lap 15.
Yeah, 2x2, still 10 rows deep, and it looks like, Kurt, they're coming up on a lap truck. So what's it gonna be? Is Josh Arnold, J-Pod telling him to go high or go low? It looks like it's gonna be the tide ride. He's gonna stay low. Everybody's gonna try to navigate around. They actually, I think, besides the backstretch, I think they probably caught him in the best possible position. He's just gonna have to really check up on that apron, not to wash up. Good job by him.
Yeah, it's good that he gave them the middle lane and the top lane, because as soon as they were able to clear or start to go around him, he was able to clear the turn and get down on the apron and get out of the way for the rest of the field. So Josh Arnold probably, he's a very good communicator when he's out there, so I'm sure he was communicating to the 50 saying, hey, just stay at low, we'll move up. The rest of the field with that push-to-talk button in iRacing can at least hear him saying that, and they know that that lap car is going to the bottom of the field or bottom of the track, and they'll all have to shift up. That high line has to move up a little bit higher from the middle lane to allow that bottom lane to come up. If somebody does not time it right, though, we could have had a serious issue there.
Yeah, it looks like the 24, Cole Snyder, he was able to go ahead and lead that lap. Josh Arnold now P2, Nate Lehman P4, Marty Hensley P4, and just as I say that, in these positions they change out, lap after lap. Looks like P5 keeps going back and forth between Rapp and Jones. Throop, Campbell, Jose Ruiz, he's back this year, and then of course Brad Rivers in that 69 machine, P number 10.
Yeah, there's a bunch of guys up here. I just pulled up the battle. Josh Arnold up 3 spots from where he started. Cole Snyder up 11 from where he started. He is now being scored as the leader on that outside line, but that bottom line, J-Paw has one of the best pushers, one of the best speedway drivers, including himself. That's right there with him, with Marty Hensley in that good wrench. Got to run the Dale Earnhardt scheme. That Marty always runs it. I don't know if I've seen him in anything else on iRacing, but there's not someone better that you'd want behind you on a super speedway than probably Marty Hensley.
I couldn't agree more. Going back all the way through the different console editions, whether it was back with Technics or EA Sports, or 704 or whatever, Marty Hensley has always been one that's been great at these super speedways. The man's got himself a great little Fanatec setup in his man cave. With a big old 49-inch ultra wide. The man is very, very serious about his racing, and he loves these super speedways.
Yeah, I've told Rock or Marty that I'm starting to wonder if he actually lives in that garage. I haven't seen a bed in there or a cot in there yet, but I see his drum set. I'm sure he could put a fridge out there. He's got his whole setup. But I mean, it's definitely a man cave. And Pete, yours isn't anything shy of being an absolutely cool man cave as well, as I saw it last weekend. So you two both have really cool setups, and obviously got to give big praises to the wives for letting you guys have that personal space and having that what you would call man cave, and all the stuff you guys have in there. Marty has so many different things from different leagues he watches and streams stuff for, and then you have, I mean, there's an incredible list of diecast that I've seen. So you guys have so many cool things. It's definitely a very cool man cave for both of you.
I tell you what, though, Marty Hensley, he's got me beat hands down. He's got the respect of tons and tons of leagues that have sent him T-shirts, sweatshirts, hats, all kinds of stuff. But, man, that drum set that you just mentioned, that drum set would put Tommy Lee to shame. I mean, everybody teases him, he's the My Pillow guy, whatever. But you put that man in front of his drum set, he could absolutely rock out with the best of them. He's got to have at least an easy 20 stand set, great headset. I mean, if any of you ever get a chance, if you haven't already seen it on Facebook, message Marty on Facebook and say, hey, can you send me a picture of your drum set? What I'm telling you is by no imagination needed. It's an absolutely phenomenal set. Dynaskull's out there saying, let's go Byron Jones. You can do it, buddy. And then I'm going to guess that's supposed to be Murray, not 100% sure, saying, let's go Pop Bear. Whoop, whoop.
Yeah, there's a lot of cool people out there rooting for different people. If you're out there, actually, now that I'm seeing that we got, 24 viewers out there, Pete, if you have a selection of who you would like to see win this race, or even if it's not the person you would like to see but you believe will be the ending winner, go ahead and throw it out there in the chat. Let's see who everybody thinks, possibly could be the winner tonight, or who they're actually rooting for. If you want to throw both those names out there, put I'm rooting for this guy, and I'd like to see him win, but it'll probably be this guy. Let's go ahead and put that out there in the chat, and Pete and I can definitely discuss that and who we're thinking could be the ones out of the people you guys are putting in the chat.
Right now, it's an all CDR, Cold Dog Racing front row, and they have not let go whatsoever. 24 up high, 22 down low, 39 to 14 of Nate Lehman. 52, new guy here and turned down for what? The 44 of Byron Jones with the 55 right behind him. And then the 71 up high, Papa Bear in that Tiger Town Ford F-150 doing a phenomenal job. But you know what? I'm used to seeing Papa Bear at these super speedways. I can remember many, many times leading laps. I can even remember a very phenomenal win over, I believe it was Shad Swatsworth, back in the NNR Truck Series, where he was able to go ahead and grab that W.
Oh, 50 did not time that one correctly. He should have got down to the apron. It's a good thing J-Paw had just cleared Cold Dog, because that was very, very close with J-Paw sliding up in front of Cole.
Yeah, that could have been disastrous. But now you got 3 CDR trucks all in a row, 22, 24, and the 14.
No, that's not CDR anymore. Nate Lehman has left and created Checkmate Motorsports.
Ah, all right. So,
well, no,
what
I might be wrong. I'm not sure. I don't remember who slid in the spot for Jake Millsap. They might have moved. They might have moved my old counterpart, Commander Griff, Nate Lehman, into Cold Dog Racing. I know he was in charge of Checkmate Motorsports, so I don't remember which one he moved to. But I know they moved Millsap to CDR with Zach Meredith and who was the other guy within there? Braden Holt.
Well, there you go. But great hands by all those guys to be able to get around that busted up Tide ride. I believe that we're coming to lap 24 of 80. So just about, just a little past quarter of the way there. And from what I gather, I think some people are starting to call out that
52's
they'll be
gotta
going
come
down
down.
pit roads. Yep.
Yeah, 52 did not pit earlier, if we remember. So that was 7 laps into
Yep.
the race, 8 laps into the race, that he did not come down for fuel. So he was going to be a little short, so we should see the rest of the field come down within the next 8 laps, I would assume, being that he was out for 8 laps and then everybody else went in and grabbed fuel. So I'm going to guess within the next 8 laps, Pete, which should be about right, 32 laps, 33 laps on the fuel tanks for the 60% fuel. Oh, we got a car loose. Cole
24
Snyder,
is loose.
is he saving it?
Wow, what a great job by Cole Snyder. But up with the wrecking in the back. And it does include our series owner, Papa Bear. He was over. Great job by the 24 as you go back to be able to hold on to that. And it just caused everybody else to check up as you see the 71 tumbling.
Yeah, there was a lot of carnage in this one. You got the 13 in there. You got the 151, the 71, the 77, the 50 or the 72, the 10, the 17. I mean, there's a lot of guys on this one that got some damage. So we're definitely going to see a lot of guys coming down pit road this time.
You know what? You might want to go ahead and see what happened just now with the 24 under caution. He actually looks like he got spun out and sent up into the outside wall. If you rewind right there off, or rewind just a little bit from there. '24 with a bunch of nose damage. Now, Swats, this is absolutely going to save Dale Rapp from going a lap down and completely losing the draft. He's actually going to, this is very fortunate for him because he's going to go down pit road, grab those 4 brand new Eagle Feel Goods, maybe, and or he was already on pit road for his stop, and he'll be able to come on out, and he might actually be able to re-inherit the lead. 24 sent it back to the pits, I guess. I don't know. That was weird.
I'm trying to look at it, but I'm not sure what happened there. He's there, and then he's gone, and then all of a sudden he comes back, and he's spinning around. So I don't know if that was a little bit of blinking or if he parked it. I don't know. That was kind of weird.
Yeah, very unfortunate. I just saw him get sent into the outside wall, and that was all she wrote. Let me see if maybe I can do something on my side. Get back to him right now. Let me see. All these numbers.
That's 99. For some reason,
Okay,
iRacing did not fix to his number. I saw a message earlier from Zach Meredith saying that his number was messed up and Cole Snyder's number was messed up and that they weren't fixed in iRacing, but I went to the roster and I adjusted every single number and name myself. So I know that Cole Snyder's number is the 24 and Zach Meredith's is the 17 on iRacing. So I'm not sure exactly why their numbers are not reading correctly in the thing here. But their numbers are 15 and 17. Or 24 and 17, sorry.
Let's see. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and take a step back here.
I got TTV Saber Code Red out there saying have to go with Marty, aka Rock NASCAR, for the win tonight, and you definitely could not have chosen a better driver on a super speedway. Marty is definitely somebody I would expect to be in the top 5 coming to the finish line, and it's hard to pick against Marty. It's hard to pick against a few of these guys. J-Paw as a super speedway giant, Marty Hensley, even Papa Bear finishing and winning a race here, Shad, and Pacey back there in the back right now. Those guys are just waiting towards the end. They're both very, very fast in the Thunder Series when it comes to super speedways. Zach Meredith also wins a lot of races in super speedways. He's won multiple races in the Thunder Series, won multiple races last season in trucks and Xfinity. And actually, I believe he won the Xfinity race that started their season this last week. So he's definitely somebody I would pay attention to. They're all kind of in the back waiting for things to happen. And yeah, I would definitely say it's one of those guys. It's kind of hard to pick against any of them. Jose Ruiz up here in the top 4 finally. Your boy Byron Jones, Pete, still up here in the top 4, running that 44 truck up here. I think he's on the outside in 4th. So still a lot of drivers here that are really fast.
Absolutely, but the that double deuce, Josh Arnold, he's going to go ahead and be the control truck. 14 and Nate Lehman to his outside. Like you said, Jose Ruiz followed by the 44, Rock NASCAR. Marty Hensley right now sitting in P number 5 with that 48 up high, P3 in line on the high side. But the guy that made some contact with the 24 after the caution came out was one of the other newer guys here, and turned down for what? Mr. Throop in that 55. We can review that later if need be, but here we go. Green one more time. 22's first on the loud pedal, but he's got some great help right behind him. Jose Ruiz, he's very consistent no matter what series, no matter what league. The man absolutely knows how to race, knows how to hold a pretty wheel, and that's one of the things you have to be able to do here at Daytona.
Yeah, Papa Bear being pushed, J-Paw being pushed by the 23 of Jose Ruiz with Marty Hensley right there in 3rd on the bottom row. And then you have Nate Lehman, Byron Jones, and the 48 of Corey Blevins out there on the outside line. Then you have Jonah Bybee out there, who we saw earlier in the wreck with the front end damage, but he has had his truck repaired, and they are all 4 on that outside line trying to catch up to J-Paw on that bottom line.
Yeah, J-Paw, he still has the 14 to the outside, 44 in his rear view. They're still coming through the trial. Back to the start stripe right now, side by side, a good 10 to 12 rows deep. And then some people a little bit further in the back, maybe a little gun shy now, wanting to wait, see if a caution's going to breed caution. So far, still getting it done. They're riding on board right now with that 22, holding a very, very pretty wheel. Jose only give him a shove when it really matters, not really doing it in the corners. As you see the 14 falling back just a little bit, that's because the 44 Byron Jones not locked on to the back bumper of the 14. But when the 14 blinks out, you don't know, or it makes you a little uncertain about pushing the guy, because if he disappears and then reappears and you're inside, you're going to be looking at a big one.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to be caught in the big one 30 laps into this race. These guys are starting to think about pit strategies, though. If it does go green, we got 23, 25 laps. Oh, big wreck going, Pete. The 48 of Corey Blevins going around.
You got it. I saw the 48 go around, then they all stacked up behind him. It looks like the 50, the truck that had gone a lap or 2 down, he was able to save a couple people able to drive on through, but not many. That was probably a good thing that the guys in the back were kind of just holding up a little bit. They might have been able to get on the brakes just in time to avoid any kind of damage. See the 51 down there on the bottom line. He's smoking just a bit, as well as a couple of others.
Yeah, Corey Blevins was turned there, got a little sideways and came back across the field. The rest of the field was able to hit the brakes and go low. Only maybe a couple guys having a little bit of damage from hitting the brakes or slamming on the brakes, and guys not being able to slow down in time. So Corey Blevins going to have to get some repair done, and there's another truck down there, the 51 of Gary Huffins, I believe, will be needing some repairs. He's smoking going down around through turn 3 and 4.
Yeah, Gary Huffins, he was one of the ones definitely included in all that. I mentioned him just a moment ago as the 48 was trying to get straightened out. It looks like 48, he's going to go ahead and stay out right now, but that way he doesn't get a black flag for coming down pit road when pits are closed. But I imagine that they'll be open this time, and I would also think that the guys that were in the lead and able to get on by that will stay out. No reason to come on down unless you want to top off. And so far, it looks like most are going to go ahead and pass on by that commitment cone. Nope, J-Pie, he's going to go ahead and duck on down real quick.
Well, they bailed on somebody up there. I believe it was Marty. I don't think he was ready for them to switch and just turn hard left. So he stayed out. The rest of them have come down pit road for fuel, probably at the very least. I don't think many will take tires. Daytona and Talladega, iRacing Super Speedway, not tracks. Traditionally, you want to take a lot of tires on as you don't need them.
No, you really don't need them. I mean, sometimes you can go down when you're taking your load of fuel, depending on how much you've spent, depending on the distance between cautions, and if you need to maybe take just rights or maybe take just lefts, or if it's a very long race, you can alternate between those. But I believe in talking to a couple people about the Road to Pro race that was run here at Daytona last week. There were some people that took no tires at all, and they only wore by like 3% when it was all said and done. 3%'s not huge. Might give you a little bit of an issue with some looseness, but hey, loose is fast when you're on the edge of out of control.
Yeah, I've heard that before, Pete, somewhere. I can't remember where I've heard it before. And actually, I heard it said today during the Cup race, too. So I think Clint Boyer and you were probably watching Days of Thunder this past weekend and decided to bring some quotes out for the races here.
I was hoping somebody would catch that. There you go.
You can't get movie quotes past me.
All right, so it looks like the 22 of J-Pot, Josh Arnold. He's going to be able to go ahead and retain the. No, wait, I'm make sure I'm right. Nope, I'm wrong. 39, like you said, Marty Hensley. He did not pit, so he's going to be the control truck. And with Marty out front, he can take a bump. He can give a bump, and he's got, I believe, who is that to his outside? That's going to be Benjamin Lee in that number 151, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Numbers kind of cut off on the top just a little bit. Yep. So he's actually brought that number back from last season. Good to see him again.
You're gonna have Marty. You're gonna have Ben Lee on the outside. Then you're gonna have Brad Rivers down on the inside in third. We haven't seen Brad up here very much tonight, or the 151. So these guys all moving up, and then the outside line we got a bright red. Almost looks Christmassy with an American flag on it. Sorry, it's red. It's the Friday thing for military members. So that must be Terry Redford in the outside in the 60. And then I see the 77 of Robert Amaral out there. J-Paw back in the field. It looks like he's about 4 rows deep now with Papa Bear right in front of him.
Yeah, you see Papa Bear right there. Then there's going to be the 23 of Jose Ruiz. 22, that bright yellow. I'm used to saying that Shell Pennzoil Ford, but not much more. He's him and Cold Dog Racing actually able to be sponsored by a beverage company. And then we were just talking about 23, Nate Lehman up there in that 14 on the high side. Old Shelby Mustang throwback. It's got that racing stripe down the middle. And then, of course, Byron Jones in that number 44 A10 Warthog Silverado. The 24 of Cole Snyder. Good to see he's got that thing fixed up. And then, of course, Jonah Bybee, Jeff Lednam, and Dale Rapp. Great. This is good. This is going to be interesting. A lot of those people that we were talking about from the 22 on back, a lot of those guys have been leading a whole lot of laps. Now they're going to have to find out what it's like here in mid-pack. We're going back green.
Yeah, Pete, they've kind of shuffled the deck here, at least for the front and middle group, as it looks like the middle group has moved up here to the front, other than Marty Hensley, who's been up here all night. And then that front group that was up there before that caution is now in the middle of the pack in that hornet's nest, as we've heard it many times before from a friend of ours. It's going to be a little exciting to see these guys either try to work back through, or if they think, hey, we're 34 laps into the race, we've been up front most of the race, do we drop back and start hanging out with the guys who've been hanging out in the back all night waiting for different things to happen and wait towards the end, or Do we move through? And as I say that, it looks like a few of them are making moves. You got Terry Radford coming on the outside with Papa Bear and J-Paw being dragged with Nate Lehman, Cole Snyder, and I don't know who's in that other truck. I believe that's the 151 of Ben Lee, who just got moved to the back.
Yep, Bentley got shuffled out to the high side. Now it's a battle for the lead. 39, Marty Hensley. 60 of Terry Radford. Radford not yet clear. 69 of Brad Rivers. He's giving that 39 a shove, laying off the back bumper in the corners. Then on the high side, you see the 71 of Mike Campbell. Oh, Papa Bear. Doing a great job, again, sitting P2 up high. Nate Lehman up there as well. Hunter Peach, he's going to go ahead and pull down below the yellow line. He's going to go ahead and let those guys go, let a couple spots go, but just go ahead and fall back into the draft. That way he doesn't lose it. Brad Rivers shoving that 39 for all it's worth.
Yeah, Pete. I think the 60 and the 71 have worked together before. The 69 is going to move out in front of the 60 of Terry Radford. Terry Radford is going to replace his spot on the bottom line behind Marty Hensley. So that front line has now shuffled and restacked the deck here, as the 69 did not want to be stuck on the bottom, got to the outside line, and now he's going to be pushed by our one and only owner of the 71 in that Tiger Town paint scheme, Papa Bear. Back there in fourth right now on the outside line, being pushed by Josh Arnold and Nate Lehman still. Robert Admiral has left a little bit of a gap, though, between the top two, and Terry Radford gives a push to Marty Hensley, and he almost turns Marty into the 69. 69 is able to recover and keep going, Pete. That was an incredible save there by Marty Hensley and by Brad Rivers.
Absolutely. I think that was a little bit of a mix there. Not only a shot to the 39 by the 60, but also I think that 69 was down on the right rear of the 39, trying a little bit of a side draft, maybe try to pull him back just a tad. And the stars collided, and those two did as well. So now we got a great another battle here. The 60-39, the 69-71, and there's the double deuce for J-Pie. He's going to go ahead and fill up the rearview mirror of old Papa Bear, and here comes the 77 on the bottom side.
Yeah, Pete, I can't help but notice here, and I know we're not at Talladega, and I know that truck has an extra number on it, and I'm not seeing the red spoiler on it.
Go ahead.
But if you look down that
buddy.
right side of that truck right now, it looks exactly like the diecast that I saw in your man cave of Dale Earnhardt's last win at Talladega, where he came from the back. Like that, almost identical, other than the red missing from the truck and the extra number. But if you threw that 9 off there and you threw some red on the spoiler and red on the roof, and the scrape down the side right now looks almost identical to that car running around Talladega Speedway. So I love seeing that truck, I love seeing Marty drive that truck at least. But I definitely am seeing a lot of flashing of flashbacks here at different tracks with that car.
Yeah, from 18th to 1st, hopefully Marty doesn't have to fight that much when these guys come to, what was it, like eight laps to go or something like that. Hopefully Marty doesn't have to try to fight up through there. But I got to give credit where credit's due. It was actually Joe Darnell, Knights from back in the day in NNR, that spotted that truck in the case. And there is a whole story. That car was not supposed to be sold. There was actually a sticker on the inside of the box. It was supposed to be kept. It's actually number 1 of 3,333. Not one of, number 1. So big thank you to Knights. I don't know if he's out there watching. I know I've seen a few people in the streams lately kind of keeping up with Turn Down for What and ARCs and everybody else, SRN and eSpark and Shake and Bake. There's been a lot of people, very familiar people in the chats lately. So Knights, if you're out there, man, I got to give you credit one more time. But it looks like 39 so far. He's able to keep the 69 at bay. Brad Rivers not yet able to take a big old shove from Pop Bear to clear him, but also Terry Radford keeping right there with the back bumper of the 39. No better truck to push around here than Marty Hensley.
Yeah, Pete, we are now halfway through this race as they're going to come down the backstretch, or I guess we're about almost halfway. We're half a lap short of halfway. But, yeah, Terry Radford's giving a push to Marty, and I don't know if Marty's truck is just not got the tightness set up right, or if Terry's just hitting him in the wrong spot, but Marty was able to be pushed earlier, and it just looks like every time Terry's going to hit him, it kind of shoves that truck in different directions. And I don't know if it's just the speed or if Marty and Terry are just not used to each other being pushed. But Marty and Terry got to really watch out for that. But Marty's really wanting to get up here to the front, and now you got Brad Rivers ducked down on the bottom row in front of that 39, and we got Papa Bear Pete going to first position, now leading that bottom line with J-Paw and Nate Lehman coming to his outside. J-Paw gave one hell of a push to that 71 of Papa Bear and shoved him to the front.
Yeah, Pop Bear, he's got to be sure, though, to guide it right along that yellow line. If you drift up, the chances of someone getting into your rear bumper the way you don't want them to is very, very good. But I saw the 39 get a little squirrely with one of the shots that the 60 gave him, and that was all she wrote. So not only was the 71 of Pop Bear able to go on up there and lead a lap, but now the double deuce, old J-Pod, Josh Arnold, he's going to go ahead and be able to lead a lap, and he's doing it right up the middle. He's kind of watching the outside line, watching the inside line, but so far tonight, it really seems, unless you've had a great push on that outside, the inside's really where you want to be.
Yeah, J-Paw now out front. Nate Lehman and the rest of Cold Dog Racing still sitting out there. Mike Allen coming up on the outside lane in sixth right now, in that 88 sitting on the outside. The 09 of JB Banner coming up on the outside as well. You have other drivers now mixing it up. You have the 98 of Enrique Quiones coming around on the outside as well. Mr. Consistent, as I always like to call him, as he always seems to find a way to finish in the top 10 every single race we call, Pete.
Yeah, Enrique, he's phenomenal. Whether it's here, tonight, or whether it was all last season, whether it's in the Xfinity Series, if it's in the comeback for NAOR or wherever it is, or even back on console days, Enrique's always where he needs to be when all the chips are on the table. He's now to the outside of the 60 of Terry Radford, 77 behind him. And oh, by the way, there's that number 28 as well. For you mentioned it earlier, Pacey Widgeon, old God Power from back in console.
Yeah, his number's not set up correctly either. He's supposed to be the 0, but he is in the 28 Tenactin John Madden paint scheme there, as we see the boom on the back of that truck. He's down now, starting to move up through the field. We are through halfway of the race, and he has decided now is the time. I've waited long enough. Let me see if I can get to the front here and lead some laps. They do get a bonus lap here bonus point here in turn down for what? For leading a lap. They also get a bonus point for leading the most laps, and they get bonus points for winning the race. And I believe there's also a bonus point for getting the pole in the race. So multiple bonus points still out here. J-Paw, I believe, is the longest leader of the race. If I can find that little button, I'll pull it up, and I'll show you who's led the most laps tonight.
There you go. So the 22, he's going to continue to lead. He's got the 71 of J-Paw all over his back bumper. 14 of Nate Lehman up high with the 24 of Cole Snyder. That's going to be your top four. We've seen this play out before. It seems like these trucks, once they get side by side, I don't want to say they're content in just running side by side because nobody else has been able to come on up and challenge them. You can get 3 wide here at Daytona, but it's not as wide at Talladega, so it's just a little bit more sketchy. And with the with the air moving them around and trying to be perfectly lined up with the truck right ahead of you, you can move around just an inch too much. And we've seen netcode come up and bite people, or you move down and they move up just a little bit, and it causes the big one, and all of a sudden you're in trouble.
Yeah, Pete, I was just noticing the 55 of Steven Thrope. His truck looks a little shorter than the rest of everybody else's trucks. He's got some back end damage there where somebody squashed the back end and made his truck a short bed truck rather than a long bed. But he is still sitting here in the top 13 right now, and he's able to stay in there because of the draft. If he gets separated, he will have some trouble staying with this field. But right now, stuck in the hornet's nest as the rest of the field is surrounding him, he is able to keep up with the rest of the field. His air has a little less travel distance going over the back of the deck lid.
Yeah, instead of next time you order this truck a tonneau cover, just order the 5.8, not the 6.2, and it'll be perfectly fine. But he's got the 45 Jonah Bybee in that brand new 911. Never forget paint scheme with the 48 of Corey Blevins to his outside. 52, he's up high, and they continue to run mostly on that bottom line. Right behind the 45 and the 151 of Lee is that number 44, our original pole sitter.
I'm trying to go back through the field and find a couple different drivers. I'm seeing Byron Jones back here. He's now sitting 18th in that 44 machine, so he might have stepped back a little bit and said, let me take a little break and let me go to the back of the field and make sure I can stay out of any sort of issues. I'm seeing Michael York back here still. He's one that I've raced a lot with on Super Speedway when he first got on iRacing, and kind of did a lot of iRacing Super Speedways. We did a lot of Talladegas, and we kind of just developed the strategy of staying out in the back and waiting. And I think the first race we actually were successful at doing it was one of his first races on a league race, and it was NNR's practice season that we had at iRacing Super Speedway, and he and I rode in the back, the very back, about 8 seconds off the field with Mike Honcho, Jose Ruiz, and a couple others, and we stayed in the back for 98 laps. And on 98, we started moving and came up through the field. We never took tires to those first 98 laps, so that tells you how much laps or tires really matter on a track like iRacing Super Speedway. So we just kept coming in, getting fuel. We'd sit in pit road and wait for every single person to leave pit road before we even came out of pit road, so that we guaranteed ourselves starting in the back of the field, fall off. And then with about 10 laps to go, we started moving through the field, and we ended up finishing that race third and fourth. And Pete, if I'm not mistaken, I actually drove through you to get to third place.
Yeah. Coey, I remember that very well. He went on down, smacked the inside wall, and I smacked it right behind him. And yeah, that was there's a clip out there of that race somewhere.
Yeah, you'll see my truck ramping up into the sky as I jump a truck coming off of turn 4. There was a huge accident coming off of turn 4, and I was able to jump a truck and then find you and Coey sliding across on the inside lane, and was able to kind of ghost through you and plow right into the finish line and get, I want to say third, but I might have been in second, and then Michael York might have finished third in that race, actually.
Boy, look at this number 5 of Mike York, talking about him, coming up very, very fast on that outside. He has passed, no lie, about 6 trucks by himself. The draft here with these trucks is huge. He's got no help except for that pull from the truck ahead. He continues to make momentum. Now, if this was the what's called the next gen car, and he was that far back, forget about it. He's not going anywhere. If you're 2 to 2.5 car lengths behind the guy in front of you, you're stuck. You're a sitting duck. We saw many people at Daytona last week in the actual Cup cars lose the draft in some great rides too. We saw Denny Hamlin lose the draft. We saw Kevin Harvick lose the draft. We saw a lot of very, very strong, very stout guys lose the draft last week. These trucks, they'll pull you from behind from quite a ways.
Lots of guys
as it looks
coming
like we
down pit
get
road.
green flag pit stops. And so far, I really haven't seen anybody have any issues from everybody that just went down pit road. So they're going to go on down, and more than likely, Kurt, you're going to see them just take gas, maybe take rights, or maybe take lefts. But I highly doubt there will be anybody taking 4 Eagle Feel Goods.
I'm trying to see if I'm seeing any right sides or left sides going on. I'm not seeing anything, so Marty looks... I don't think he did. He stayed in a little longer than he probably should have to get that repair done. Doesn't look like he used his fast repair, though.
No, it doesn't. I mean, what he's doing could help him, maybe, depending on how long he stays and if he loses the draft. But he also might catch the draft as they come back around, as it looks like he's going to come out, and he coming out amongst everybody else that he just went down. Not quite sure what happened there.
Yeah, he was one of the first to come down pit road, so he was able to get to his box a little faster than the others. He was able to get some of that optional repair done, and then also stay in that group that did come down with him. So He's not going to lose a ton of positions. He is going to stay with that pack and be able to draft with them and make up some spots when the rest of the field does decide to come
They
down.
got a wreck back behind, and the number 50 is involved. Caution's going to be out. Now, Kurt, I wonder if that might have had to do. I didn't see what happened down low, but there were some trucks that did not stay on the apron all the way through 1 and 2. They kind of got up and over the yellow line as the pack was coming by. I hope that's not going to be the case.
Yeah, Pete, I'm trying to find it. I'm not seeing where anything is at. I'm finding Jose Ruiz.
Go back to the 50 of Jarrett Manning one more time.
So it's a little further back.
Yep. Go to, okay. All right, so this is where the caution's already out, so you might have to rewind just a little bit. There you go.
Yeah, the 50 of Jarrett Manning had a ton of damage. We saw him before. He probably, I mean, I know
There you go.
he's trying to get through the field. I think they're trying to go around him.
Ooh.
But, yeah, he probably should have gotten out of the way and just went straight to the apron on that one. But
Yeah, he saw the 151 come on up and give him a shot in the tailpipe, and yeah, that was all she wrote.
yeah, he has not used his fast repair, so I'm not sure what he had before. But he's been running around with that damage pretty much all night. So I don't know why, if he had that much damage, he didn't just go ahead and use that fast repair before. But it's cost him here, and it's cost a few other drivers with some damage there. So I think he probably made a bad decision there. He's probably trying to save it, thinking maybe there'd be more cautions and he would stay on the lead lap or get laps back, and then be able to fix his damage through the required time. I know he was part of that first wreck in lap 7, and he had the damage from Jonah Bybee. Both had that damage for a long time, so I don't think he's used his fast repair, but I don't know what's going on there. So, but it does look like the 5 of Mike York will be our new leader, as he did not come down pit road. Looks like a bunch of other guys did. Terry Radford is set as second place right now. JB Banner in third, Josh Arnold fourth, Nate Lehman is fifth, Cole Snyder sixth, Mike Allen seventh, Braden Holt moved up into the top 10, is now eighth, Zach Meredith also moving, is in ninth, and Stephen Thrope is 10th. Pete, we got a lot of guys up here who are big movers. Michael York has moved up 30 positions tonight.
Yeah, Mike York in that number 5, HendrickCars.com. Chevy Silverado looking pretty good. I was talking about him just before this caution flew with all the spots that he was making up on the high side, utilizing that huge pull that he was getting. So good job by Mike York. This is going to be a lap lead. It's going to be a point for him. And I believe you said just a moment ago it's going to be the number 60 of Terry Radford right behind him, and then then I think it was the number 77 of Robert Amaral, JB Banner, and Joshua Arnold. So some movers, some people that have been up there, but either way, this field is completely mixed up. Looks like the 5's going to come on down after leading a lap.
Yeah, it looks like he led a lap under caution and then decided to come down in the late pit stop here, because you can make up time coming out of pit road, going full tilt to catch back up to the field before they do go green. So I don't know if he'll get a penalty for being if the pit road was closed or not for him, because he did stay out on the lead lap before. So I think the penalty is the EOL, which won't hurt him anyways, because he'll be at the back of the field anyway. So I do believe our new leader is Terry Radford in the 60. JB Banner will be to the outside of him. Josh Arnold will be directly behind the 60 of Terry Radford to give him a shot on the start. And then you'll have Nate Lehman on the outside, Cole Snyder on the inside, Mike Allen now on the outside in 6th, Braden Holt 7th on the inside, Zach Meredith 8th on the outside. Jonah Bybee, back up here from being that first caution, is now going to be in the 9th slot. And then Enrique Quiones has moved up to 10th.
Yeah, good. Another great job by Enrique, moving up further and further in the pack. It looks like the 151, he's gone ahead and hung up the helmet, brought that machine back down pit road and parked. Very unfortunate for him. I'm guessing that earlier caution that we saw him in, he used up his fast repair. So no mulligan for him. Very, very unfortunate for old Mr. Lee.
Yeah, most of these guys have spent time up here in the top 10. Terry Radford up 22 positions. JB Banner up 24 positions. Josh Arnold, Nate Lehman, Cole Snyder all being relevant right around the top 10. Mike Allen also. Braden Holt up 18. As the pace truck goes down pit road, Pete, we are back to green at Daytona International Speedway. Terry Radford leads them into turn one. Who will stay behind him, or will Josh Arnold move to that high line and get in front of the JB Banner 09?
I don't think he's going to have enough time. Banner didn't get quite the restart that he needed. Either that or Nate Lehman just wasn't on his backside. But the 22, he's definitely got some help from the 24 and others. J-Paw's going to go ahead and dive to the outside, picking up the 09. 24 laying back just a little bit. Now pulling up to the rear bumper of that 60. They're going to stay 2 by 2 all the way down, heading into 3 and 4.
Yeah, I was wondering who was going to stick with who, and Terry Radford gets in with the 09. JB Banner looked like he was trying to come down in between J-Paw and Terry Radford, and that did not happen as they were not clear for that one. So we'll go back and take a look at that one. I do believe that is going to probably either be on JB Banner for coming down. Obviously he had only about an inch of not being cleared, so Terry Radford probably could have given him a little bit of a break there with 24 laps to go, but we are within go time, Pete. Every spot means everything. I mean, you're kind of stuck there on whether or not you'll give somebody space or you don't, so.
Yeah, very very unfortunate, but like you said, it's time to get on and stay on that loud pedal, just like it was the restart. It's very early in that run after the last caution, but hey, Terry Radford, he wants to win this race the same as the 22, and if somebody leaves a hole, you're going to try to fill it. It is, yep, it's a racing deal. Almost, it is what it is. Yeah, 09 went up into the middle lane, and the 60 held his line. There's nothing he didn't do anything wrong. Unfortunate that it collected so many cars in the back, but it's gonna move some people up, and unfortunately gonna put some people back as well.
Yeah, as we saw that, like I said, Banner probably thought he was clear. Maybe he thought Terry would give him a little bit of a break and let him in, but I mean, like we said, Pete, it's go time. It's 24 laps to go. Terry has that position. He didn't move at all. He didn't, wave from his line. He stayed right where he needed to stay, and Banner, I guess, thought he was clear. Sometimes on iRacing, that little spotter that's in your ear may tell you you're clear, but on Daytona Super Speedways or iRacing Super Speedways, you may only be clear for that 1 second of hearing that word clear, and then you are no longer clear. So you kind of have to ignore that spotter a little bit and really just kind of go with the feel.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, or when that spotter tells you clear, as soon as you hear it, you've got to move. If you don't, you're done, because here at Daytona, at Talladega, at iRacing Super Speedway, those holes close up very, very fast. 23 laps remaining. 60's leading. The 23 of Jose Ruiz, right now in his rear view. A lot of people came on down to top off. I'm going to guess it probably a lot of the leaders. They shouldn't have to go down anymore.
Yeah, they should be good to go from here, I believe. I've seen a lot of guys running 23 to 24 laps, so we're pushing the edge, Pete. And a lot of these guys, if you're not the leader, you probably will be saving just a little bit in case we go to a green-white checker, which it is Daytona. We usually do see that. So I think if you're not going down pit road and topping off right now, or not wanting to be the leader, but you're going to stay in line and you're going to be half throttle a lot of times trying to save maybe a half gallon, which would give you about a lap or two, I believe, in this race here at Daytona.
Yeah, depending on where you are in the field, you might even be able to stretch that just a little bit more. Like right now where Terry Radford is, he is expending the most amount of gas. The 23 Jose Ruiz, he's going to restart on the high side as you see him getting back two by two. The 55 and beyond him, the 39 of Rock NASCAR. Those guys, they're going to be able to save some, but the guys in the front, they always spend the most because they are hard on the throttle all the way around. Where everybody else, don't thinking about that rule, don't push the pusher. The 55, he's going to be pushing at 60. The 39 of Rock, he's going to be pushing to 23. Everybody else behind them, they are on and off the gas all the way around this 2.5 mile super speedway.
Yeah, and Pete, the 55 is still a short bed truck, what I'm looking at here. So I don't think that 55 is going to be able to get to the lead. So I think he's either going to be in the way for a couple guys, or I don't know. I don't think he can get to the front in that short body style truck that he's driving right now. I think once he does, I think he's going to be a hindrance to that bottom line. So he's going to have to kind of stay in line until we get closer to a finish, and then maybe try to, pull that draft and try to go around somebody. But I would look to see J-Paw, Cole Snyder, all of those guys to try to get up in line with the 14 and Marty Hensley on the outside to go around with Jose Ruiz on the outside line.
It's really interesting to see that damage on that 55. Usually you'll see it on the left side or on the right side, or sometimes it'll look like they backed into a telephone pole with a big old indent in the middle of the bed. But no, his whole rear end is pushed up. It's the first time I've actually seen that part of the damage model. As you see that Silverado make that very, very quick left down pit road. Terry Radford hard on the throttle, 55, very, very close in tow. Jose Ruiz, he's going to go ahead and pull on up. It looks like yellow's going one more time.
Hunter Peach just went around, I believe.
Very unfortunate for Hunter. He's pulled out of line a couple of times to let things go. Looks like this time just wasn't able to dodge it.
Yeah, I think this was a checkup with Kyle Taub and him. They both spun right down pit road there. But I think that's what it is. I think somebody checked up early, and it just wasn't able to be checked up by Hunter Peach there, and it brought out the caution there.
Got it. All right, well, while we are under caution, I'm going to make a pit stop of my own, and I will be right back, buddy.
All right. So as we're looking at that, that kind of looks like a couple guys were laying back on different drivers, expecting them to go on green, and they just timed that incorrectly, and it looks like Kyle slammed on the brakes, and Hunter Peach was already on the gas as well, and found the rear end of Kyle Taub and turned him into pit road. So we will rack them and stack them again, and we will try to go green with, I believe we have 15 to go. Oops, sorry, 21 to go. But that is the sixth caution of the night. Terry Redford still out front. Stephen Thrope in that 55 truck that does have all that damage on the rear end that we were talking about, still sitting second. Jose Ruiz in the 23, still sitting third. A lot of guys' picks people's picks in the chat of Marty Hensley in that 39 Goodwrench truck is still up in the top 5 in fourth. Josh Arnold still sitting fifth. Nate Lehman 6th. Cole Snyder is 7th. Braden Holt is now 8th. Gary Huffin's back up in the top 10. And Papa Bear in 10th. Enrique Quiones 11th. Brad Rivers is 12th. JB Banner now back to 13th. Pacey Widget 14th. Dale Rapp 15th. Byron Jones in that 44 is 16th. Hunter Peach now, with that damage he just got on that restart, is now sitting 17th. Benjamin Lee 18th. Zach Meredith moving up to the field is in 18th. And Shad Swartzworth sitting 21st right now. as the field is running around their pace laps for this caution, we are, like I said earlier in the broadcast, looking for sponsors. So if you have a company business out there that you'd like to get some, people to see and try to, get some business out of this, we are looking for sponsors for individual races, the individual series, and the entire league itself. So we do have a few sponsors that are with different series and things, but if you are a league sponsor, your sponsorship will be put up into the screen here for the entire race, and then we have little sponsor logos that go into either the race sponsor or the series sponsor, things like that. Your logo will be displayed through the entire broadcast and things like that. And we will talk about your company and the things that you do with your company to try to bring you some people to come buy some stuff from you. So, like I said, we do have sponsorship openings. If you are looking into it, please reach out to Papa Bear or myself on Twitch, and I will get you in touch with Papa Bear myself, and we'll go through that whole thing with you.
There you go.
Feeling better, Pete?
I am. I opened up a sour gummy, Raise Energy, just as this was all about to kick off, and yeah, well, I got the energy out of it. I had to kind of get rid of the rest. But looks like Terry Radford, he's going to continue to lead 55 on the outside. As you said, he's got that damage to the back end. So I know Marty Hensley, he's got an eye full of everything that's wrong with the tailgate on that truck. So we should see the 23 of Jose Ruiz and the 60 pull right ahead. That's going to help the 22 as well. But how long will it be before the 39 of Hensley is able to either pull on down or get on by the 55? Now, they can pass on the high side, but if the 55 makes that truck wide, Marty's going to have nowhere to go until maybe they get through halfway through turns 1 and 2 or down the backstretch. Pace trucks off one more time. 60 is your control car. He's on the loud pedal. Back green.
I'm showing the speed here for Terry Radford as they go through the travel. You see him picking up speed, going through the gears into fourth gear already before they even get to turn 1, up to 160 miles an hour as they go into turn 1 now. They should be up to speed just about halfway through the backstretch, and we'll see if they get fully up to speed. I think the speeds in the trucks are at 185 is the max out in the draft down the backstretch as we go up to 175, Pete.
Yep, 175 looks like 23. Jose Ruiz, he's going to go ahead and duck outside. I'm going to guess maybe he's gotten a push from that 55 earlier and liked how he pushed, but this is going to be a great equalizer for that 55. Now the 39 of Marty Hensley, he's glad that the 23 K&N Ford F-150 pulled up high because that's going to be able to help him. And now a little bit of a gap back to the fourth place truck on that high side. Oh, it looks like Jose got spun and put the 60 up into the catch fence.
Pete, I had just turned on the driver input so we could see the steering wheels, and I had just flipped to Josh Arnold, and all of a sudden it was upside down. So definitely some steering into that one with a lot of cars spinning around the track. Terry Radford going around after Jose Ruiz was turned there, and I believe that was by the 55 that we were talking about with that short bed truck. We'll have to go back and take a look at this, Pete. I think that's all it was just a bad push from the 55, and you had just said about the 23 moving up there because maybe he liked the push from the 55, and he might be regretting that one now.
Could very well be. Jose Ruiz, I know he wasn't collected at anything earlier, so that he'll come on down. I believe both him and Terry Radford towed, and they'll go ahead and get it fixed and come on back out and try to close this thing out strong.
as we take a look at it, Pete, it looks like the 23 did get a little bit of a bad push from the 55, turned him down into the 60, and that started the calamity behind him. A lot of chaos going on. You've seen a couple trucks going up in the air, but a lot of guys were able to swerve through here. So your boy Byron Jones still looking clean in that truck, and he could be one of these drivers that makes it to the end without getting any damage and could be right there for the finish.
Yeah, I was watching the replay that you just showed, and yeah, he was able to steer his way on through in that Patriot Esports machine, and good eyes by him to swerve on down as Jonah Bybee came up to his back bumper with a head of steam, but very very unfortunate. I'm sure J-Pa, the Double Deuce got a little bit of damage to his right side, but a lot of people behind able to really hold on and drive their way through that.
Yeah, I don't know if J-Paw realizes that he's got a bunch of damage on that right side or not, but he just stayed out with the 55 and 24. If you guys did come down pit road, Jose Ruiz is one of them. Brad Rivers, Mike York, Chris Murphy, Jonah Bybee, they all came down pit road. So maybe J-Paw is just hoping that if there is another caution, he'll be able to come down and get tires, fuel, and use that fast repair. I don't remember seeing him using one early on. So I mean, he's pretty much been in the top 10 all night, and I don't remember seeing him with any damage, Pete.
No, not at all. Just that right side's really, really scraped up. As you said, the 55 looks like the Lucky Dog was able to flash on by the pace truck, but so we're going to have two very damaged trucks that are going to take this field back to green. Kurt, do you think that's really going to kind of clog up both lines? Or do you think J-Pa might have enough gusto, enough under the hood to at least get that bottom line going? We saw what happened with the 55 on the high side. Marty Hensley had nowhere to go in that 39, that last restart. This is really going to be either very good for the bottom or both lines are really going to get bottlenecked.
Yeah, there's a lot of drivers up here that have been up in the front majority of the night. That 55, though, I'm still waiting for him to use a fast repair if he still has one. But there's some cars up here that do have some damage. Marty Hensley has some damage to that front end. Front nose is definitely banged in a little bit there. So the 51 looks like he has a little bit of damage. 22 has damage. 55 has that damage we've been talking about for about 20 laps now. But there's some other drivers in here that do have clean trucks. Nate Lehman back there with a clean truck will have fuel and tires. I don't know where it's going to come from, but somebody is probably going to come up through the field. Braden Holt sitting there in the 54. I believe he's actually in the 72, but he maybe not, 54. But yeah, so he's going to try to come through the field as well. Marty Hensley with that little bit of damage on the nose. I don't know how much it's going to affect him unless he gets to the lead. That 55, though, as a lead car on that outside line, probably will get bailed on because he's probably going to hold up that outside line unless we're seeing some sort of issue within the streaming, Pete, that rear end, I mean, you can even see it in the rear end where it's kind of like Legoed on the back there, where it's kind of stacked up on the back end where it's kind of smushed in. It's kind of like taking a beer can and just flattening it. But that's what it kind of looks like in the back end. But I mean, he's working it. He's up here in second, and he's been up here in the top 10 for the last probably 20 laps we've been talking about that damage.
So right now you've got first, second, and fourth, all with some kind of damage. J-Pa with damage all the way down the right-hand side at 55. He's got damage in the rear and even a little bit on the right-hand side. Marty Hensley in that number 39, his front end has definitely got some issues. So right now the cleanest truck that's furthest up is going to be the 24. Not 100% sure about the 51, then the 14, and then the 54. So a lot of these trucks from third or fourth on back are going to be all right. We'll have to see just how fast you're able to get on up there and dispose of the leaders if they can't, get up to speed like everybody else. Silverado, one more time, making that hard left towards pit road. J-Paw's control truck, back green.
Yeah, 14 laps to go now. J-Paw out front with that little bit of damage we were talking about. He should be fine with a teammate pushing him in that 24 of Cole Snyder with the 51 of Gary Huffins and Braden Holt back there. Those guys all know each other. The 54-14, 24-22, all friendly drivers to each other. Different teams, though, but definitely friendly drivers. That 98 of Enrique Quiones, Mr. Consistent, still stalking back there in about ninth.
Now, right now, I just mentioned now the 24, he's got a clean truck. He's all over the back end of the double deuce. When or if he gets clear, depending on how much that 55 is really holding everybody back. As you see, a couple of guys up on the high side. It looks like it's going to be the 69 of Brad Rivers, and he's got the 10 very, very close in tow. They're going to go ahead and try to make that momentum work. 55 is going to come up just a little bit. Nothing doing. They're going to be 3 wide for P4, 5, and 6. As it looks like the 10 was able to grab, or I'm sorry, 10 hit that wall.
Yeah,
that's going to leave the 69 all by himself.
The 10 of Ryan McCall was trying to hang with him, but he also had damage, so he really wasn't given a great push to the 69, but he was able to push him up there. Now they have a third row stacked going around the 55 that we were discussing earlier with the damage, so this whole third line is about to become that middle line once they can get past that 55 with Brad Rivers leading that outside line.
Brad Rivers leading the outside line, but leading that inside line with the double deuce right behind him. Ladies and gents, it's going to be the 39, Marty Hensley, Rock NASCAR. Couple people out there in chat picked him to go ahead and possibly grab the W. Maybe the damage on that grill isn't real. Maybe it just wasn't fixed by iRacing. As you see the double deuce bail. The 24 tried to go with him, just not enough time. The 14 of Nate Lehman filled that gap very quickly. Swatchy talked earlier about how quick those holes filled up. Great job by the 24 to listen to his spotter or realize that it was already sealed. Marty Hensley still leading.
Yeah, Marty Hensley leading with 11 laps to go, Pete, with multiple drivers up here that we expected to be here. J-Paw being one of them. The 24 of Cole Snyder, Papa Bear also in there. Byron Jones mixed in there. There's a few other drivers coming up through the field. Enrique, Braden Holt. There's a whole list of drivers here that are coming up through the field with 11 laps to go. There are several other drivers, though, that we expected to be up here that are not here. One of the drivers I expected to be here is Zach Meredith. He is on the outside in that third row. He is also a super speedway guru with J-Paw and Marty Hensley. He's won several of the last super speedways we've done here at Turn Down for What, and I would not expect to see him anywhere close to the back. So he is up here in that fourth line or second line in fourth place, pushing teammates.
Yeah, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth, all the cleanest of the top 6 or 7, give or take. As you see that National Guard truck up on the high side, really trying to make a whole lot of steam. Here comes the 09 on that outside. 57 says, sorry, man, I gotta go. That's going to leave the 09 to the outside all by himself. 39 double deuce. They're going to fight it out between themselves. Give the advantage to the 39 so far, but right now still, Kurt, a lot of damaged trucks leading this parade around. That high side is the way to go if you get enough people up there that are not damaged. You saw the 22 go on up. That made the 09 check up. He's going to lose a few more spots. Still racing hard.
Yeah, I think the 17 of Zach Meredith there in the 57 kind of duped JB Banner, thinking that he was going to follow him to the third line, but he actually ducked behind a fellow racer of another team, but they're all kind of friends, is that Nate Lehman and Josh Arnold on the outside row. Now you have the top 5 on the outside row, all friendly drivers of CDR and Checkmate Motorsports, and that was close. J-Paw ducks down in front of Marty there. Oh, and Marty goes up and tags the 14. We've got a big wreck going from the front. That's going to be a lot of good drivers in that.
That collected a ton. It looks like Marty just kind of got loose coming up off that yellow line just a little bit. And yes, this is, or what could be, the last big one, depending on how many trucks have a fast repair left. Had a few cautions. This, I believe, probably the second biggest, if not the biggest, by the amount of cars that were, or trucks that were taken out because of happening so far forward in the field.
Yeah, it kind of looked like Marty just got sucked up into the 14 there. As he came off the bottom, you see him right in line with J-Paw, and as they come off the bottom there, it looks like Marty just drifted just a little bit and tagged the 14 as the 14 was trying to side draft as well, and it just piles the whole back of the field with everybody in it. Zach Meredith, Pacey Widgeon, Enrique Quiones, Nate Lehman, Robert Amaral. There's a whole list here. Mike Allen, Hunter Peach, Trying to see if I see anybody else. There's a whole list of trucks that are going to be involved in this one that are probably out of fast repairs, as I've seen several of these guys in damage earlier as well.
And very unfortunate, but I tell you what, one guy that is kind of a king among men right now. It's going to be that truck in third place. He's going to line up behind the double deuce of Josh Arnold, and he still has the cleanest truck. Now, clearly the cleanest truck among the top five. We'll have to see what Cole's able to do with it. He's going to have to be patient and choose his battles and try to go for the W when it really matters the most, because he's going to have to pick somebody to work with. A couple of damaged trucks will still be fast, but if he can get somebody up there that's clean and able to move on up there with him, Cole in this Millsap Graphics number 24 can still get it done.
Yeah, he's going to be lined up right behind J-Paul, which is his teammate with Cold Dog Racing. So I don't see those two having an issue, but Cole's probably going to want to try to get around J-Paul because J-Paul does have a little bit of damage on that front end that we can see. But the rest of the drivers in the top 10, a lot of them have damage. The 55 does, 51 does, 39 does, 71 has some damage on that right front. JB Banner in the 09 has damage on the left front. There's damaged trucks all over the place up here in the top 10. So anybody sitting in that top 10 to or 11 to 20 that is a clean truck that's been hanging out waiting for this stuff to happen, now that's going to have 5 laps to go when we go back to green, should be able to make some moves here and try to get up there. And as I'm looking at it, actually Cole does have some scrapage on the backside. So I don't know if that's just from the pushing with the draft, or if he got tagged in maybe one of these incidents where he slowed up and somebody else kind of rubbed him a little bit. But he does have some scrapage along that Millsap Graphics logo on the back.
Yeah, just a little bit though. I don't know exactly how much it'll hurt him.
Oh, I don't think that's going to hurt him at all. If anything, it might help him losing some paint, lighten up the truck.
Yeah, there you go. Lighten up the truck by a little bit of scrapage. Lighten up the truck by burning off the most amount of fuel with coupled with having a great starting spot. But Josh Arnold, Marty Hensley, Cole Snyder, Mr. Throop, Huffins, Campbell, Banner, Jones, Rapp, and Ruiz going to be your top 10. And as you said, Kurt, there are a lot of damaged trucks still in that top 10.
Yeah, I'm trying to find a clean one. The 21 of Chris Murphy looks to be the cleanest, at least from the back here. He's sitting... Where is he? Oh, he's several laps down, that's why. But yeah, he's clean, so he's come back out. Kyle Taub looks pretty clean as well. He's sitting back here in 14th. Jose Ruiz, his looks clean now that he's used his fast repair, sitting in 10th. Del Rapp's got some damage. Byron Jones has damage. JB Banner has damage. Mike Papa Bear has damage. Gary Huffins has damage. Steve Thrope has damage. Marty Hensley has damage. And Josh Arnold has damage. So the only clean one in the top 10 would be Cole Snyder.
Yep. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what he does or what he's capable to do. We saw the 23 of Jose Ruiz once he was clear of the 55. He came up, got a little bit of a bad bump that sent him to the outside wall. Will the same thing happen to Marty, or will that 24? Once he's clear, if he can get a good enough of a push from the 51, will he be able to come on up, maybe start a middle line? They can pass high, they cannot pass low, so the 24 is going to have to show just a little bit of patience, as it looks like, what do we got? We'll be coming to 5 to go as they take the green. Here we go, Kurt.
Yeah, with 5 to go, Pete, I don't think I would count out J-Paw sitting there in front. You got to get around him. The little bit of damage he does have, it doesn't seem to be hindering him that much, but that's not somebody you want at the front and late at the end of the race, because he will not give up that first position. He will go for that win. So Cole needs to work with his teammate and maybe slide up in front of Marty Hensley in the 55, as they've been drafting well together. If he wants to get around the 22, he may want to sit there and push his fellow teammate. Maybe they have something worked out with each other within teams, but I would think Cole is going to go for this win.
Yeah, Cole's got to try to go for it. I mean, it's Daytona. He's got the cleanest truck right now, sitting inside the top five. He's got the '09 of Banner right behind him. He's going to try to shove that 22, I think, as far out into the lead as he can. Will he be able to clear the 39? I don't know, because he does have that damage going all the way down the right side. If you're looking head on at the 22, the right front fender is completely flared out. That is stopping him from being able to really get max speed down the straightaways. So the 24, while he's got to be patient, he's got to try to get going as well. He really needs help from that '09 if he's going to try to pass the double deuce. And J-Pod.
Oh, we got another wreck going in the back.
Yep, looks like Nate Lehman just spun out so far. No caution. He's off track. Looks like we're going to stay green.
Yeah, we're going to stay green as he spins off track and out of the way. So that's a big shot for Nate Lehman. He was up there in the top 10, goes around, no caution, still green. So Josh Arnold still going for the win here. I'm looking at the speeds, Pete, and you can see it on my screen here in the stream. It's there. I saw Terry Radford up here in the front earlier, and I had him on the same thing, and we saw him at 185 being pushed. I have not seen Josh go over 183, as we just saw him go to 183 right before turn one. So I don't know if Josh was maybe dragging the brake a little bit, and that's why the outside line is staying right with him. You would think with a clean car pushing J-Paw, it would be able to go around with all the damaged cars on the outside line. We got cars split in the middle going 3 wide.
Yeah, but just as you say that, the 39 of Marty Hensley, Rock NASCAR, came on down and picked up the double deuce. That made
Papa Bear just got turned to the wall.
Yep, I just saw that, and right now 3 to go. So if the caution does fly, nope, we're still green so far. If the caution did come out, that would have led to a green-white checker, 24, 22, 55. They all went to the high side. There goes the 24. He's going to go ahead and dive to the inside. This will be for position. So far, no yellow. 39 of Rock NASCAR. He's going to go ahead and pick up that 24. Here comes the '09 of Banner on the bottom as well. 55, 10, 51. They're lining up behind the double deuce. Big gap behind 8th place so far. Still side by side with 2 to go.
Yeah, you got Braden Holt trying to split JB Banner and another car, or Marty. Nope, it wasn't Marty. Another truck there. He's coming through the middle trying to get behind the 55. He does have a clean truck for the most part, just like some of the other drivers up here, but a lot of them have damage. Cole Snyder, the only clean truck up here in the front, and he is battling for the lead with Josh Arnold on the outside, being pushed by the 55 of Stephen Throop. Marty Hensley pushing the 24, trying to go. We have 1 lap to go, Pete. Final lap through Daytona. It's been an amazing race so far. Great to call it with you as always, and we're going to run this last lap and see who can come out on top for this first race of season 2 in the trucks for Turn Down for What. Who will be our winner as we go to the backstretch, Pete?
Yeah, going down the backstretch. 24 had the advantage last time at the start stripe. Marty Hensley now locked up with that 24. 55 pushing at 22 for all it's worth, but 22 just cannot get there. 24 on the bottom, 39 all over him. 22 washed up high just a little bit, took a little bit of a shot that he couldn't quite handle from the 55. 24 has the clear advantage coming to the line. Kurt,
it's going to be Cole Snyder coming to the line. He moves up in front and blocks Josh Arnold, moves back down in front of 39, gets turned as he goes across the finish line. Ooh, that's going to be close. I think Cole Snyder just took that one as he was sliding across the finish line, and I believe the actual lineup I'm looking now as he gets stuck in the tires. I don't think he's going to be able to do his burnout from there. Cole Snyder is going to be your victor here in the Turn Down for What season opener for season 2. Josh Arnold coming home second. Marty Hensley, Rock NASCAR, coming home in third with the podium tonight. Top 3 will be in the booth with myself and Repeat. What a race to the end there, Pete. Wow.
Yeah, 24 just got a little bit of a hook, came through the grass to seal the deal. And I tell you what, Kurt, if you were able to grab a shot from the start stripe, looking on from pit road, you'd absolutely see him just spinning through, and it was an absolute photo finish. I believe the margin of victory was 3 1,000ths of a second between Cole Snyder and Josh Arnold. I'm sorry, 300ths.
Wow, that was crazy. I'm looking at it now, and I see Cole sliding through. Marty does bring it home third, so top three is Cole Snyder, Josh Arnold, Marty Hensley. Fourth goes to Stephen Thrope in that 55 short bed truck we were talking about. JB Banner brings it home fifth. Braden Holds sixth. Gary Huffins in that 51 truck seventh. Ryan McCall in the 10 and eighth. Jose Ruiz brings it home ninth. Hunter Peach, last season's champion, does start out the season well with getting a top 10. Kyle Taub brings it home 11th. Corey Blevins 12th. Byron Jones, your driver, finishing 13th. Dale Rapp, 14th. Michael York, 15th. Nate Lehman, who spun on that backstretch, brings it home 16th with 2 to go there. Still able to limp around. Zach Meredith, 17th. Papa Bear, 18th. Jake Millsap, 19th. Shad Swatsworth bringing home 20th. Jonah Bybee, 21st. Robert Amaral, 22nd. Mike Allen, 23rd. Chris Murphy, 24th. Enrique Quiones, 25th. Does not stay consistent as he did every season I've seen him. Unfortunately, Daytona struck him, and he's coming home 25th. Brad Rivers, 26th. Pacey Wingen in that 0 truck brings it home 27th. Terry Radford, 28th. Stephen Brynock, 29th. Jeff Ludnam, Mr. Mike Honcho, 30th. Sam Wade, 31st. Jarrett Manning, 32nd. Benjamin Lee, 33rd. Bill Hells, 34th. And Michael LeBlanc in the 13th. Unfortunately, brings it home last place today, 35th.
What a race, Kurt. What a race. Wow. It's good. I tell you what, Cole Snyder and Josh Arnold, they're going to be a hoot to talk to. And, of course, Marty Hensley, Rock NASCAR, bringing that 39 home P3. We'll talk to all three here in just a moment. Stick around, guys.
As we listen to the burnout there, Pete, I absolutely agree. It's going to be a very cool experience to talk to these three as they were coming to the line there. So we'll see if we can get all three of them in here. I do see Cole. I see J-Paw. We're missing Marty Hensley. Let me grab him and drag him down here so that he's in here with us. And that will be our top three. I'll get this burnout that Cole's just burning them down here. I'll get him to mute that, and we'll go into the top three, Pete. And I'll go ahead and take the one and only Mr. Rock NASCAR, bringing it home third tonight in that 39 machine, good wrench machine. Marty, got a copy?
Gotcha.
Mr. Rock NASCAR, Mr. My Pillow, Mr. Mario, all the other nicknames you got, Drummer King, all the other things I can think of, Super Speedway Guru. I didn't even know you were going to be in the field tonight, and I saw you all of a sudden. We were coming through, looking through the field as you guys were gridding up, and I was like, whoa, Rock NASCAR's in the field. This is going to be exciting. Adding another Super Speedway Guru with you, Josh Arnold, Zach Meredith, all of you guys that are just very, very consistent at Super Speedways. You come out here, you run for turn down for what trucks at Daytona. You bring it home third tonight. What a race. Give me a short kind of description of your race, and then let's go to that ending.
That was intense. Very intense ending. The 55, I mean, he helped me, but when I was behind him, he had rear end damage pretty bad. It looked like on my screen. So I
Yeah, he
didn't
had
know how
a short bed truck for about half the race that we were watching as you guys had long beds.
So I knew somehow I gotta get by him cleanly somehow to at least lead the outside pack to have a shot. And then I was able to do that, and then I knew J-Paw was down, leading the inside pack, and finally I got clear of J-Paw, and it was like, well, do I stay up top or do I go down the bottom? And I wanted to work with J-Paw, so that's why I went down to the bottom, and then J-Paw swung it high, and then where we ended up.
Yeah, you guys were definitely crowded as you guys came to the finish line there. We weren't sure what was going to happen. You gave a little bit of a bump to Cole, and he started getting turned as you guys came to the finish line. He slid across the finish line in first place. It was so close. I think Pete read it off as 3 1,000s is what the finishing line there was between Josh and Cole. But Marty, you bring it home third tonight. I'm hoping we'll see you the rest of the season. It would be amazing to see you in this season. A lot of good tracks out there that I know you're good at, especially when it comes to the Super Speedways and the Truck Series. We got Daytona, we got Talladega, we got iRacing Super Speedway, we have Michigan. There's a bunch of different tracks that are considered Super Speedways that I know you're very good at. So hopefully we'll see you in the field. Any shout-outs for you?
Absolutely. First of all, I want to shout out to Trinidad for what racing organization for allowing me and letting me come in and race with these guys. I'm not a full timer. Usually do it part time, but huge shout out to them. Big shout out to the winner Cole, J Pop for working with me for a while, and I totally apologize to the 14 car for getting into him, and you guys in the booth for putting on such a fantastic broadcast. Really appreciate it.
We definitely appreciate you being here. It was a great race to watch. Definitely enjoyed it. Definitely enjoyed seeing you in the field when we went to grid. Definitely, like I said, surprised me completely when I saw that it said Marty Hensley in the 39 and you started up there at the front. So I was a little shocked, but super excited to see what happened throughout the race with you in the field. You spent most of the time in the top 10, so we love to have you out here. Definitely will enjoy seeing you for whatever races you're able to make. I know you do a ton of stuff for the Xbox community. You do some stuff for the iRacing community as well. Go out there and check out his Facebook page. You won't be disappointed. You'll definitely see some My Pillow jokes and Mario jokes, and your wife keeps making up all kinds of things. She'll have you nicknamed and all kinds of little things everywhere. I'm starting to wonder if she knows that your name is actually Marty since she keeps calling you all kinds of other stuff. So good luck on the
Absolutely.
rest of the season when you're here, and can't wait to see maybe you in the booth again.
All right, thank you guys. Sure appreciate it.
All right, Pete, you got the one and only Super Speedway guru J-Pa, or Josh Arnold, for second.
J5 Pete, you got a copy, buddy.
Hey, Mr. Pete, gotcha.
Man, it's great to be able to talk to you back in the booth again. That double deuce was too wide for the last several laps. You know, going high, going low, picking up the lines wherever they were. Actually, it seemed like wherever the 24 was going, you were going as well. And then when it came to the end of the race, 24 got hooked, went through the grass. You were up on track, up by the wall. 3/100ths of a second is what the gap was for the both of you. Phenomenal race. You led a lot of laps. You're bringing it home P2. You just got NAOR kicked back off. What could have made this week any better for you, Josh?
Um, hey, not much. I mean, honestly, tonight's race, I went in it and I was going to be aggressive. My goal was to lead as many laps as possible. Got 42 of them tonight.
There you go.
So, that was I just wanted to pick up the aggressive notch again and take every run I could. Like you said, ran side by side. We had a plan, team plan going in to control the race, and I pretty much believe that we controlled about 75% of that race. And even when we came down pit road, we easily, a few laps later, boom, here we come. Here we are right back to the front. So that was our goal tonight. Um, but no, like you said, it's been a great week. NAOR kicked off. They're on Burnt Rubber Media on Twitch, and just really, it couldn't have been a better week. I was excited that Cole got a win tonight, so it's in the family.
Mm-hmm.
So we all got to celebrate. But I mean, no, I couldn't have asked for a better race. I mean, for me, I know there was a lot of people that had really terrible nights and stuff like that, didn't even get to finish, but that was my goal, was just to stay at the front. I mean, I know that there was like two wrecks within inches of me taking me out, with the 14 and Marty, and then the Jose and Terry wreck right there on the front. That's where my damage came from, the right side, those lines and stuff. But no, just really shout out to you guys, shout out to Marty, shout out to the everybody, man. It was a really good race up front. I mean, I know the wrecks happened mostly in the back, I think except a couple, but I mean, looking down at the field, the top nine finished all within 3/10 of a second. And, no wrecks there on the final to take anybody out. That was right there in the top few. So, that was good. Everybody finished kind of, in the top 10 that was running there at the white flag. So, always got to be happy about that, especially here at the plate tracks. But no, I mean, just, shout out to Papa for getting this back going again. It's been a long month waiting for these trucks to be back out on track. So I'm just really excited and can't wait for next week.
Yeah, you mentioned that damage down the right side after I believe it was the 39 and 14 made contact. You kind of you got hit in the door, which luckily enough, it wasn't the right rear sending you up into the wall. Had you already used up your fast repair by then, or did you just want to keep the track position? That's why you stayed out.
I had three sets of right sides, two sets of no, hold on, two sets of right sides, three sets of left sides, and a fast repair finish. Uh, still there at the end when I crossed the line at the end.
Gotcha. Yeah, I was kind of surprised that you hadn't gone down and used that because the 24 was the cleanest truck amongst the top 10. And if the two of you would have hooked up a little bit sooner, it could have been a cleaner 1-2. But irregardless, man, congratulations on this top two. It's going to start you off after leading most laps here tonight, sitting very, very good in the points when we get to next week. Congratulations, J-Pa.
Thanks, Pete. Thanks, Watts, for coming out and doing this for us. Can't wait to go watch the stream.
Watts, Cole Snyder, number 99. What a finish. He's with you.
Mr. Cole Snyder. You got a copy, bud?
I think so, yeah.
Well, I didn't see your fan club out in the chat tonight, but you were one of the cleanest trucks out there coming to the end. Out of the top 10, I think you were the only truck that did not have damage. You did have a little bit of a scrape on the back bumper. That might have been from pushing or getting pushed early on with the draft and stuff, but cleanest truck going to the end. Walk us through a little bit of your race, and then we'll get towards the end, and we'll talk about that.
Yeah, it feels like we ran a pretty solid race as a team, just controlling the whole beginning and everyone sticking with each other. And you gotta love that. It's always great. And yeah, I got destroyed under caution by someone who wasn't really looking up, but got the fast repair in. Didn't want to use that early, but I had to, and just tried to run a smart race and avoided all those wrecks somehow and kept it straight. Had a little bit of damage at the end, but that was just a blast racing J-Paw. He's one of the best out here, so beating him is pretty bittersweet, even though he's a teammate.
Well, I think if you're gonna win, it's got to be over some really really good guys at the end. Josh is obviously one of the better super speedway drivers. That's why I call him the super speedway guru. Can't do much when you win races with fuel mileage and speed. It's hard to beat that guy, but you did it tonight. Marty Hensley's another one. Another guy that you guys are all teammates with, Zach Meredith, was up there towards the end, but you're able to bring it home tonight in first. You are first in points, got the bonus point for leading a lap. Josh Arnold got 2 bonus points for leading a lap and did clinch the most led laps. So your team's looking pretty good. Coming to that finish line, though, what did you expect and what did you feel whenever you felt the little love tap that Marty gave you as you went turning left right before the start-finish line? Did you think maybe Josh Arnold on the outside was going to be able to clip you there? It was so close in the timer that, we had to go to slow-mo coming through there.
Yeah, I moved up high to kind of pull J-Paw with me to get, like you guys said, a cleaner 1-2 out of that. And then I had to duck low to protect that. And then when I got sideways, I just held the wheel as straight as I can and just at full throttle. And none of us celebrated until we all seen the ticker on the end and it said we were 1-2. So that was very close. I don't know. That was fun. I'm just excited. That was cool.
Well, it is a 1-2 for Cold Dog Racing tonight. Another teammate of yours finished back there in the back, who normally I usually always see at the end. That's why I call him Mr. Consistent, but he got caught up in some stuff. And then Nate Lehman got spun there with 2 laps to go. So new team member this year, new squad going into this new season. You guys starting it off really really well with being 1-2, and I believe Nate Lehman led a couple laps too. So a lot of bonus points going to Cold Dog Racing tonight. Going to Las Vegas tomorrow next week. You guys just ran Las Vegas for Xfinity. I believe you ran well there. Zach Meredith came home with the win. Any expectations going into Las Vegas now that you got this win under your belt? Kind of a relief, kind of a weight lifted off of you going into the season. Does it really project more wins for you, or how are you feeling with Las Vegas and the rest of the schedule?
Vegas should be pretty well. It treated us well in the past as a team, and like you said, all like Zach Meredith and all them boys over at CCR, they're gonna be hard to deal with. But yeah, Vegas not that bad of a track for all of us. Should be quick, should be good. Hopefully it stays green. This league is known for staying green, so it should. And yeah, I think we're gonna try to sweep the season. Gotta always believe that, you know.
All right. Well, I guess Kodog Racing will be trying to win every race this season, as they should. Every driver out here should try to come out and win. Only happens for those that actually can finish the race and be that top spot. But every driver has a chance. There are so many good drivers in this series and this league as a whole that it's tough to get a win with all you guys out here. Hunter Peach is somebody I was surprised didn't see up there tonight. He got caught up a couple times. So very, very good drivers. Good luck on the rest of the season, Cole, Josh, Marty, when you can make it. Like I said, if you guys have any sponsors out there that you wanna throw this way and try to get turned down for some sponsors and some help, definitely reach out to Mike Campbell, Papa Bear there, our league owner. Definitely get you through that process. But these guys put on one hell of a show tonight. P, any last words for you, bud?
Man, 21 trucks left running on the lead lap anyway. 15 trucks, one or more lap down, if not out of the race. Great start to the season overall. Las Vegas Motor Speedway going to have to see who puts their, who's betting it all in, who's all in from the qualifying laps all the way through to the end. SWATs, Daytona's in the books. Looking on, a lot of people will say that the real racing starts next week. I'm all in, buddy, right along with you and everybody else.
Yeah, we'll be looking forward to Las Vegas. Xfinity race was really, really good there in the Xfinity series. So a lot of those guys run double duty, and we'll see them over here next Sunday night and see who can take it home for victory. Everybody else out there in the chat, appreciate you guys coming out. Even saw Shadow pop into the chat there towards the end. Really miss him being out here. Any chance you can and you can get some time to be in here, we'll absolutely have you in here, Shadow. Definitely miss seeing you on track. Bunch of other people out there, first-time viewers. Some bits dropped by Bowling, and I believe Shad dropped some, and a few others. So really appreciate all the viewers out there. I think we had almost 28 at one point, Pete, and I think we were around an average of 20, 25. So really great showing with a lot of people out there tonight. Really looking forward to seeing what happens and Turn Down for What. You will catch us live next week at 9 o'clock Eastern on Sunday. So appreciate everybody, and we will catch you later, and everybody stay safe.